I'm Monica Dubé. I'm here with Heal Your Mind, Heal Your Life Transformation Program and Coaching. And I'm doing today lessons 11 and 12 of A Course in Miracles. And those two lessons are really important because they start with the idea that my meaningless thoughts are showing me a meaningless world. And why is that important? We tell the world what it is, and then we experience it that way. So if I'm defining how I see the world, then I'm going to suffer if I think it's a crazy world or a hostile world. And what this does is help us to understand that we don't have to do that anymore. We can really start to recognize the world for what it really is, which is a place of peace, if you'd like it to be. So the main idea is correction is the reversal of the thinking of the world, right? We always give attributes to the world we see, and then that upsets us. Because if we say something like, well, it's a crazy world, and it's upside down, and people are insane, and there's lots of chaos, then guess what we're going to experience? Deep anxiety and fear. And a lot of people are in that state right now because they don't like what's going on, or they're judging what's happening, or they're not sure of how they're supposed to deal with everything. And because there's so much anxiety, I've decided to do these series of lessons from A Course in Miracles to present to the world how different life could be if you let go of your perception of the world. Wouldn't that be nice? And you could see it all differently. You could see that there's joy and happiness and peace here, and that it's actually a place where you can set yourself free instead of judging. Okay? Because every time you assign an attribute to the world, you're actually judging it. And it's actually not even there, but you're doing that, and then you feel the pain of what you've just done. You feel the pain of the judgment, and then you begin to believe that you are true, that is true, and what you're judging is true, or how you're judging. So I'm just going to say that a meaningless world is my meaningless thoughts, my judgments are meaningless. They don't really define what the world is. I might think that they do, but I'm only getting the result of my mind in every moment. So if I stop telling the world that it's a meaningless world, or that it's a hostile world, or an angry world, or an unfair world, then I won't get the result of that thought. I'll get the result of, it's a benevolent world. Perhaps it's a really it's a joyful world, right? It's a great world. I mean, I could think any thought I want to think about the world, and I'm going to get the result of it, right? Because this is what's going on in time and space. So the key is that I'm upset because I'm seeing a meaningless world, but I'm giving it those attributes. It's meaningless, and so if it's meaningless, it means it has no meaning. You're not here to give it meaning, right? You're here to stop giving it meaning. And recognize you don't have to keep trying to give meaning to something that's completely benevolent and neutral, and it's here not to hurt you. It's here to provide you a place to reside while you're in time and space. And it's actually a very wonderful thing to stop judging it. And take care of it. Take care of your mind, because your mind is all powerful, and when you stop projecting your thoughts onto the world, the world you see, which is still going on in your mind, then you start to get happier. So let's do it for a moment. It says, this is a correction for a major perceptual distortion. And that's because you have a major perceptual distortion around what the world is. So you see that what upsets you is a frightening world, or a sad world, or a violent world, or an insane world. You think that, but it says right here, all these attributes are given it by you. See? So the world is meaningless in itself. You can stop doing that, and you'll feel better. And you'll stop trying to make sense of a crazy world. It's not crazy. The mind is crazy that keeps telling the world that it's crazy. It's not that much fun either, really. So all you have to do is look around the world and say to yourself, I think I see a fearful world or a dangerous world. I think I see that. A sad world, a wicked world. I think I see that, but I'm upset because I see a meaningless world. If you stop telling the world what it is, then you get to experience what it really is. And that is a place of awakening, a place where you can come to free your mind. It's a place where you can come to experience duality. A place where you can come to just be in relationship with everything. Because you are. And you aren't alone. You're in relationship with the world, and you're in relationship with everything here. Okay? You brought it with you. You brought your perception with you when you came, and you're getting the result of it. Now, why is that so important? Because you can change how you perceive, and then you're set free. I would like to see a beautiful world. I would like to see a world where people are happy. I would like to see a world where suffering ceases to exist. Okay? That's what I'm creating in my mind because that's what I want to see. And if everyone gets clear on this, that they have the power to decide what kind of world they want to see, guess what's going to happen? Your perception is going to change and your experience of the world will change. Wouldn't you like that to happen? Wouldn't you like to be one of the people here who are providing a solution to the problems of the world rather than contributing to it the sadness or the viciousness or the wickedness? Because all judgment gives you the result of your own judgment. So you're putting yourself in pain, you're staying in pain, but you're blaming the world. Kind of silly, really. When you see that you're doing it, though, you can stop and say, I'm upset because I see a meaningless world. Okay? Now listen to this. This is the most critical part of this lesson. Lesson 12 is, if you could accept the world as meaningless, and let the truth be written on it for you, right? It would make you indescribably happy. Because the truth is joyful. It's coming from a place that's not of the third dimension in that sense, right? The truth is eternally true. And because the world is meaningless and you're writing on it, you're putting your judgment on it. But when you stop doing that and you give it space and you let the meaninglessness be there and you allow it to be what it really is, God's will, a happiness, a place to discover happiness, a place to discover who you are. Isn't that amazing? It's the best thing you could have done, was come into a world where you could wake up to the truth of who you are. So you made the right choice by coming here. But if you stop judging yourself and stop judging the world, you're going to be a lot happier. You're going to be indescribably happy. So wouldn't you like that to be your experience? This lesson is so profound. When I do it occasionally, I do it once a year, obviously, but, beneath my words, what I'm telling the world it is actually the Word of God, and it's the truth, right? So the purpose of the exercises is to recognize what is really true here. My judgments aren't true. I'm making them up, and they're all lies, and they attack everything and everyone, including myself. And that's just crazy after a while. Why would I continue to do that when I could have an experience of freedom from my own judgment? And I could stop telling the world what it is. And I could stop trying to make it what I think it is. Right? That's why you have to really recognize when people get really crazy around you and they're like, oh, this and oh, that, and the politics this, and, this is unfair and all that. You realize that's just judgment and that is just pain. They're just suffering. They're in conflict. And the thing that you can do is to not buy into it. And to recognize you have the power of decision in your own mind. You can choose to see this all completely differently. And if you did, you'd be indescribably happy. Isn't that great? Wouldn't you want to do that if you knew you had that alternative? And then you're part of the solution. So 3 or 4 times is enough practicing for this idea. Okay? 3 or 4 times in one day. That's only a couple of minutes. If you could do that today, you're going to feel a lot better. So stop telling the world what it is. Stop telling everything what it is, and you're going to be happier. Let it be what it is, but let it be shown to you. You're going to be happier. Okay, that's it for today. Thanks, and I'll do lessons 13 and 14 tomorrow. And that's all about the world, too. It's going to set us free. I hope this is helping you. Let me know. Leave a comment or contact me at healyourmindhealyourlife.com. Thanks so much. Bye.